synergizes well with the team. You have the Zin, you have that Olaf. There's naturally going to be tanky solo at Rise as he builds up his items. Just overall, a pretty solid pick. Actually, was expecting Insight to pick him up, but they went with the Cho'Gath instead in that middle lane, which, honestly, with this ping, it's really hard to land those ruptures, but then again, if you get a nice Cataclysm onto 4, even 5 members of a Nexus, follow it up with a nice knock-up out of him, and then even a silence across the entire team, you're going to do, well, you're pretty much going to shut them down for a good 4 or 5 seconds.
So a few early wards just kind of give them jungle entry vision. Nothing on the Wraiths, though, so they won't have any vision on the jungler going around. We'll have to see what they choose to do for these lanes. Looks like Celiver reads them going into that bottom lane to help out Jarvan. So they know there's no lane swap. They know there's nothing cheeky coming, as D-Man would say.
Cheeky. I know. I heard Joe start using that word, and I'm just like, not bad. I'm gonna take that for my own. America. Anyways, we do have actually 4 members of Insight heading down towards this bottom side, and I really wasn't expecting them to go for an invade here, but they might be able to catch them off guard coming in from the river just for kind of a late invade.
They have put the trap in the bush, so they know it's open. And yeah, it looks like they're going to use that late Fog of War invade here. MF is just on the bottom side. She's going to see them. She's out far enough, so Arkel's going to have the up and up on this guy, and they're just going to walk this one out, Jay.
Well, at least they should be able to. Just used, so we might actually see that first blood go up in top lane. However, he is playing very safe, which you kind of need to do, and it's about the time. 3 minutes in, you should expect the jungler to be up towards this top side of the map if he's going to gank it. He has that ward down to spot river, but obviously not that lane.
And with Jarvan going fast red, we really don't have any aggression coming out of that. The taunt is down, and that is the move for them to go out here. They're going to be chasing down Lekko, but he looks to be safe. No, the dash in, the audacious charge, the counter gank coming in. He almost lives, but they get the first blood down, and they are going to be looking for Xaxis. Can revolt to get himself there. It looks like he may be able to get to it. Another teleport coming in here, and it looks like Rise is going to join the fight to finally stop the battle, but that leaves Cho'Gath bottom by himself.
I kind of peed myself a little bit there seeing that go in. Jarvan got a nice knockup, but with that red buff, they were able to take Shen down, and that really helps out this Olaf top lane. He always has a hard time against Shen, but with that early kill, and maybe even an early tower, as they do have it down to half health, we do see Jarvan trying to hold it, just pretty much hold it, but he can't really do too much against them, or he will die, and you don't want to feed over those double buffs to anyone on the other team.
So we see Caitlyn now getting pushed out of mid here, down to the bottom lane. Actually, that's where the support is. They're taking down this turret as fast as possible. They don't like the aggression that was put up towards that top, Jay, and they're going to try to retort on this.
Yeah, it was a really good counterplay on their part, noticing that. They saw Rise teleport up there. Oh, and the mid lane Caitlyn again, very low. Didn't she just get back to lane?
Yeah, she was in the race. She was going around. Like I said, she got pushed out because Kid Cudi wasn't there. They do get the bottom turret. Very nice in that as they're pressuring the middle. So just great map awareness so far by Insight and really playing that first blood top.
Yeah, and the kind of interesting thing is we see Xaxis go in with the Philo Stone. You typically don't see any kind of GP10 built on, well, anyone anymore except supports. They usually go straight for that Warmogs, but to give him the extra sustain, he's going to be spamming those undertows as much as possible, as he already has 2 points in it. Honor that Shen just kind of zone him out. But still, both AD carries and supports now in this middle lane. Rise just trying to sit down on this bottom and farm up. And Cho'Gath, I mean, he has the ability to roam right now, but the thing is he has not a lot of money. He's sitting on just 1,000 gold.
So they do see Xin coming down, and looks like Soul Silver will be backing his team, gives him the heads up on what's going on. You saw a few stay safe pings from there. So everybody communicating very well here. The gold lead has not really increased in anyone's favor just yet. One turret has been taken down in that bottom lane, though, so we'll have to see if Saga's here and Kid Cudi in mid are going to try to take down this mid turret really quick. And just as he backs. Oh, unfortunate.
trying to get aggressive there just to stop that, just to keep him from getting back to that base. But still, I mean, right now looking at CS, we have the AD carries pretty much dead even. We have the mids fairly close, obviously not dead even, but, you know, within 6 of each other. In the top lanes, we have Olaf with that lead because of that early kill he got, or that, well, yeah, the early assist, I'll say, with the help gank from Xin Zhao. But, I mean, Riv, we saw some action already happen. Where do you think it's really going to go down? Like, any further action?
A lot in the mid. It's going to, well, see, with this in the mid, this is what's really cool about the playing your AD carry and your support middle, especially with Nunu and Blood Boil, is you now have more mobility to both lanes instead of just one lane, instead of an AP carry in mid that's mobile that can go to the lanes. So it's really on Insight to start using what they've put here against the Nexus, and Nexus was the ones who had to kind of pull that in the beginning. They knew it at first, but Insight has the hold here. I think it's their choice to switch these lanes around. So right now they have to make a move off it. The Nexus is still counteracting this.
And one thing I talked about yesterday, which I always love seeing, is you have Nunu in the mid lane. He didn't take any points to consume, but you have that ability to go run to the Wraith camp, take the giant Wraith away from the jungler, run back to the lane, and really just punish him over and over and over. However, without taking that, he doesn't have that ability to. He's trying to level up that Blood Boil, level up that Ice Blast, just to, you know, help his AD carry farm just a little bit more. But I was honestly expecting Caitlyn to have a bigger lead than this, or at least have that turret down a lot lower. When you go for lane switches like that, you need to get turrets as quick as possible. However, Cho'Gath in the bottom side, he's keeping that lane push up as much as possible against Ryze, who really has a hard time getting started. Once he gets that tier, once he gets his catalyst, you know, he's completely fine, maybe in a blue buff. But right now, he's just having such a hard time farming. He's having, or not hard time farming, but such a hard time to really help his team at all. I mean, he has a teleport going to be available fairly shortly, but still, he's pretty much stuck in this bottom lane because Cho can outpush him. Yeah, without being able to keep that lane in an advantage. Oh, coming in bottom. Oh, he is, yes, actually coming in right around. They're going to pincer in on a Cho'Gath here. Soul Silver could be going down. He gets the Shen ultimate, and it looks like he will turn for this fight. Shen should be going to taunt. Oh, wow, he actually may leave Soul Silver to die here. Soul Silver is going to be going down as Ryze gets chased down. The Ignite is on, but they do not catch that, and he makes it out as well, but the chase is now onto Shen. He does finalize that kill with the taunt in. We'll have to see what Overpower can do here. Lekko does get the 3-talon strike on. Nunu's coming in from the side. We'll be able to get the Shen Blood Boil and get him out of there with a little bit more movement speed. The Blood Boil gets turned on. The Snowball to slow him down. And it looks like they may be able to turn this. Jarvan coming in from the left side. Gets him with the Cataclysms. And they should be able to finalize the kill here, Jay. So back and forth. Who's going to get it? No, they left him alone. Oh my gosh, so unfortunate. Oh, and Misfortune coming around from the side. This might be like a triple kill. She pulls out the ultimate, gets him before the taunt goes down. They stop some of the damage there, but you are so correct here. They may be able to turn this around. A power cord takes him out. One more double up and an extra shot should be enough to take him as that potion just chugs away. They're not going to have the movement speed, and it is going to finalize that fight that went up, down the lane, inside the base, and finally ended. Went up all over, but that was so unfortunate for Insight. They had such a great play. We saw Soul Silver come in, take a turret hit just to make sure Shen could get by, but fortunately it didn't really work out for them as they just stayed too long. Got Urkel a couple of kills and even Sona one, but in the meantime Olaf did steal away the blue buff, which it doesn't really hurt too much, to be honest. I mean, Cho'Gath's the one that could really use it for the cooldown reduction, but he doesn't really have mana problems, so all in all, it's not a really huge loss, but still, giving Olaf that blue, giving him that ability to just spam those undertows is going to be a tough problem. He is going on to Caitlyn right now in the mid lane. Gets her down a good third, but needs to be very careful. That's a really good point. It's a great advantage for them to pressure that blue buff, but you're right. Not many people on that team are super mana intensive, and the cooldowns semi-high for them. So when they initiate, it's just pretty much all in for them anyways. Ryze looks like he just grabbed his blue as well on the mini-map, as Zaxxas just taking a little harass here mid. Insight doing a very good job, Jay, of just staying in their face, knowing to increase the tiny advantages. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, the CS right now, as you see Olaf, he's just destroying Shen right now. He has almost, well, not almost double CS, but he has a good lead on him, 22 CS. You see the junglers, Jarvan has a lead on his point, but overall, it's just that huge lead in that top lane. You see Olaf finally going for that Warmogs now. Shen only has a Giant's Belt, but look how many wards currently are sitting on Inside side. They have 4 members with wards. They have 2 currently on Jarvan and 1 on the rest of the members. Pings in the middle say, hey guys, we may be able to fight this, or we need more help here. It looked like it was just a regular ping, maybe to take caution. Nobody's really making any moves. They're closing in on a Nexus right now, so they will go ahead and clear out their jungle. Xin will be grabbing red. A little bit of poke damage from Grom coming in as the mid lanes are, this is farming just like a bottom lane for being one of the shortest lanes in the game. Like you said before, you made point. Usually in these swaps, you see the turret go down very fast as we see a lot of damage straight here. Wow. Nunu pushed out a little too early. She dodges it, forced to flash out because that power cord would have meant her life. Top lane, Zaz was chasing down Lecco, but just taunted away and escaped. But still, Caitlyn, she's having such a tough time. I mean, she's behind in items, even though she's ahead in CS because of those 2 kills that Arquel got at that bottom side, even the assist. But we do have a 4-man push on this middle lane. Cho'Gath coming up from behind them. We might actually see engages. All 5 members of Insight was closing in on that middle lane. However, they just back out instead. Yeah,
they were going for that pinch once again. Nothing happening. So we're 4-1 now. About
pinches.
11 minutes into the game. 15,000 gold to 12,000 gold, 1 turret apiece. And those turrets have been dropped on the respective sides in the same spots. That top side has been dropped and the bottom side has been dropped from the lane swap.
Yeah, but still Insight, they're being really aggressive on this middle turret. Once they get that down, it gives them a lot of control on the map, especially the south side of the jungle where, where the blue is really going to be crucial for Celavar to keep picking up over and over and over. Instead, they keep backing off. It looks like, both teams, they're kind of at that point where they're not sure if they really have a strong lead or a strong enough lead to make some aggression onto the turret, or if they just need to play passive, farm up a little, or get a couple of items completed, because right now Misfortune very close to finishing up that Bloodthirster, which is going to help quite a bit. The bot lane Celavar with that blue buff, trying to go for a kill on Soul Silver.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he can do it here. He does have the damage to probably get that down. They're going to be fighting up top here. No movement from the middle lane right now, so this is mano a mano. But middle lane may have an idea of its own as they are onto this turret. They are pushing quite hard. Jarvan goes in right there. It is going to be right onto Overpower, but they don't want to really go onto that too hard. Shen is backing right now. He would not be able to get into the fight for a few seconds. But very cautious play from both teams here. It looks like they want blood, but they really can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, the point is, it's 12 minutes in, and Caitlyn falls off mid-game. Where she
right,
doesn't really
that
keep
big
up.
U power curve.
Exactly, yeah. So they kind of are at a lull. They have the early game power, but they didn't really use it to full effect. So now they're going to have to wait out another 10, 15 minutes just so Caitlyn gets the items she needs. I mean, she's sitting on 3,300 gold total compared to her counterpart at 4,000. Only has that pickaxe and a Vamp Scepter. It doesn't really offer much in these fights just yet. The Blood Bowl does help, but you're not going to be doing as much as Misfortune, especially with that AoE damage that she's going to have. And on top of that, a Bloodthirster. So Insight has to drag the game out a little bit. They're obviously going to get pretty damn tanky with this Cho'Gath. He's going for that Rada Ages, as well as Shen and Jarvan going for Warmogs.
So coming in with those Warmogs that you just talked about, we'll have to see where the fights come. It's going to be about 5 to 6 minutes before those really come into effect, and these teams go just head-to-head in an all-out brawl. That's what you get from Jarvan. That's what you get from Xin Zhao. So these fights are going to be absolutely brutal.
One thing I am worried about, though, is do they really have the damage late game? Because they have Shen, who just pretty much just straight tank. You have Jarvan, who needs to go tank, can't really build damage items till a little bit later. Cho'Gath, even if you go straight AP, all you have is that burst.
It's
have sustain.
Pure Caitlyn Nunu.
Yeah, exactly. And with the way they're playing right now, I mean, yeah, she's ahead in CS, but way behind in items. They're going to have a really tough time as the game progresses, as long as the Nexus keeps building tanky.
Olaf still pressuring that top lane as Soul Silver was earlier. We see the push once again towards mid. Soul Silver coming up behind here, and this looks like it may be a definitive final push for the turret. If they can get this wave down, they definitely have power in numbers here, and they are going to try to pressure the turret, Jay.
The thing is, though, they have to be scared. I mean, I don't really think they can go for it. Yeah, they have 4 members, but the thing is, Overpower has the ultimate up. He could kind of stall them for as long as possible. You have the crescendo up. As you do see, the ultimate use that is out in the mid lane.
And they're trying to go in for the fight. It was a nice ulti. They knocked him behind the turret here. They are able to get the Jarvan ulti down. He flashes out of his own ult, but here comes Xaxis from the top lane, and it looks like it's going to be pretty powerful for Olaf here. 1 kill for himself, looking for the second one, but a beautiful 4-man rupture. It disengages that fight.
And that's exactly what I was saying. Insight, they really can't engage upon that. They went 1 for 1, but the thing is, Caitlyn was the one that died, and then for a Nexus, it was just Sona, so not really that big of a deal. You do have a Nexus now trying to be aggressive, trying to go for this turret. It's the whole time going to clear them out.
Oh, they are going to get the kill out there. Beautiful job. They go 1 for 1 once again, Jay, and it could be more coming in for a Nexus here. Insight makes a little bit of a bobble, and they lose 2 for 1, and possibly the mid turret that has been such a focus of this game.
And that sets them so far behind. I mean, we were talking about before how they don't really have a lot of damage besides the Caitlyn Nunu. And just with that, losing that turret now, losing 2 more members, it's just setting them that farther behind. Like, they have this window.
Yeah.
If they make it to a certain point in time, that they should be able to have the damage to counteract a Nexus, but every time they lose someone, every time there's a turret, that window gets moved back further and further.
88 to 72 in that top lane. Olaf and Shen were pitted against each other on their island for what they were on for at least the first 9 minutes of this game. They saw a little bit of jungle action, but really not too much. We can see now Nexus making their way out of the base. The rest of the lanes, the junglers, even in CS, completely even, but it's 1-0-4 to 1-2-1. So it kind of keeps it even. The death is definitely going to not allow you to soak up the experience you're required while you're on the fields of justice. But these lanes are actually pretty even all across the board. I'm not going to do every one because I'm just going to say 50%, 50%. But this dragon could separate them along with that mid turret that just happened.
Yeah, speaking of Dragon, we're going to see definitely a fight happening here unless either team wants to back off from it. Nexus completely has a stronger team fight right now. They already have the Warmog on Zazas. I mean, Olaf, he's 2-0-1 with 88 CS. You cannot stop him with his 2,000 life, and they easily could take this Dragon, yet they're still playing a little passive, surprisingly. They really don't want to let that mid turret fall, because that's the counter you do. When you see their team taking that Dragon, you just go for a mid turret or a turret in another lane to really punish them for that, but Nexus is going to take it. It looks like Inside's trying to go for engage here.
They will get the Ice Blast down. They go for the taunt on Sona. The Crescendo will not be able to help the fight to the left, but she makes her way over there very fast. They have eyes onto Kid Cudi. Jarvan tries to jump in. 3 people inside the ultimate, but the charge outside leaves Saga to fend for himself. A very good move by Overpower, and they completely changed that fight with taking Dragon as well.
And that fight was...
Ooh.
And another one. That fight was, honestly, I hate to say it, but completely messed up by Lecco and Soul Silver. They pushed into the backline of a Nexus, but the problem was they're the ones that have to defend their Caitlyn. They're the ones that have to keep her alive.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
No, he's dead.
That's one of those moves you don't make, even if you think you're tanky.
Yeah. But sorry, like I was saying, yeah, they overextended, and because of that, they had no one to defend their backline. I mean, Jarvan really couldn't do much. As you saw right there, he popped the Cataclysm, but he got bursted down in a matter of a couple seconds. Shen, in the meantime, though, trying to punish them, trying to push his turret down. Actually could get it, as he has another mid wave coming eventually, but he's... Wow, actually surprised he's backing out right now, because he could have got a lot more chip on, so he's interrupting them.
They have vision on a good amount of the team, but Shen still decides to back. His ultimate is just from being up. They should be able to pick up this quick kill. Overpower just going to leave himself there to die. There's not much he could do about it. Goes down valiantly as his team exits from the base. The Warmogs have been completed, Jay. It is 11-4 right now, 17 minutes into the game, with a 7,000 gold lead in favor of Nexus. 6 now, 6. It was 2019 rather, so it's 6.
That's almost 7.
It's almost.
Pretty close, but I mean, 17 minutes in with that much of a gold lead, it's just not a good sign.
We saw it happen last game. We saw it happen last game.
We did. So if the crowd, I guess, gets a little more into it, then Insight might have a chance here. But the thing is, Insight doesn't really have the damage to go up against the Nexus. They have 2 Warmogs already completed. We have Xin going for his Sunfire Cape now. We have a Rada Aegis done on Rise, who was having a tough time in lane. He lost his turret first, but still getting back in the game. The Misfortune has a Brutalizer, has a Bloodthirster, and then we have a Shurelia's on Grom as well. So if they want to engage, it's going to happen. There's not really much Insight can do about it.
And there they are, soaking up the experience, cleaning out the jungle. Caitlyn is a little ahead in CS, but definitely behind in kills, and that is going to hurt. Like you just said, that itemization is so much in favor of the power of MF, especially with that Brutalizer on her ultimate. It's not going to stack for everyone, but she's still going to get the damage out of it that she wants. Looks like Soul Silver is backing. He actually just went down, so maybe he needed a little bit more something. Finishes Rod of Ages, so that's actually finished quite late. He's not really going to get that innate tankiness along with his ultimate until in the next few minutes, or the next 10 minutes, rather.
And the thing is, he's the only AP of the team, pretty much. I mean, Nunu, yeah, does AP damage. You can't count him as that. He only has 70 AP at the moment, which... 60 of that is from his Rada Aegis. So as long as the Nexus keeps building health and maybe build like a Randuin's or something, then you're going to completely shut down the entire enemy team. It's just all about getting that Olaf, getting that Xin into the backline, and getting straight on to Caitlyn. Oh
man, look at the entire team converging on this bottom lane right now. They also see Cho'Gath come in and they see Nunu. Now this means HP. They have to worry how many abilities they're actually going to have to waste in this fight. And they've kind of spread themselves out here. He is going to find Overpower, but does he want to taunt? He does not. They are going to back off. They don't know how many are actually around them.
No, I know, Rise top lane, sorry.
Well, no, he's not getting... Shen came in and taunted out. Sagas is going... I'm still watching this bottom lane fight. They're actually going back onto Celiver. He is actually going to get out of the fight, so bottom lane continues to go on. I was trying to match both of these fights. Nobody wanted to start the action, though. Looks like they are able to take out Nunu. Revolta could go down here. They will finalize as well onto Soul Silver. So for the action head top, they're able to pick up 3 kills for nothing.
Yeah, very good split on their part. I mean, Silvar got Caitlyn so low just from attacking it. Forced Shen to go help him up there. Caitlyn did escape, Shen did escape, but they lost 3 members. They're going to lose a turret off of that, and that is just not what you want to have happen for your team. A great play by Nexus, realizing what they had right there with the split. We even saw Rise, who kind of had to escape by going into the enemy side of the top lane and then just teleported back to his own turret to stay alive. But now he's going in for blood.
Uh-oh, Saga is not looking good right here. He's trying to get himself away. A few shots from the Q will take him down. There's a Spell Flux to finalize it. Rise picks himself up another kill. 3, 2, and 2 as he stacks that tier. Looking for some damage, especially with that blue buff. They want to utilize a few more fights. They still have their mid turret here as Shen tries to push this wave in. And it looks like he could be able to take it. There's not too many people right close to him, but he's probably going to back not having vision of the team.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to when he sees Sona and MF right here. So they get the slow power chord onto him. Misfortune coming in. He's gonna escape with that blood boil, but you know that window I was talking about where every time Insight loses someone, it keeps getting farther and farther away from them. The problem right now is that it's so far away from them that they have to just keep building tanky. And Caitlyn, you know, unfortunately, she's going to have to build a couple of tank items, or not a couple, but at least one, fairly shortly, just because she can get rushed down so easily. You have double Shurelya's on a Nexus. I know how much Joe actually loves seeing that. It's so much time of extra movement speed. I mean, 40% movement speed for 6 seconds for your team is just insane, especially when you have an Olaf who has that Ragnarok to get in there. It's going to cause quite a bit of problems, but now they are 4-man pushing this top lane. There's really not much Insight can do about it. I mean, it's 15-4. We have almost a 10,000 gold lead. It's about 8,000 right now, and we're only 21 minutes in.
This is going to be a pretty good push here. It looks like they actually want this turret. They're not backing off too much. Sona trying to get the power core damage down. It's going to be Overpower leaving himself in. Ooh. Revolta throwing down that shield. It looked like he wanted to kind of Cataclysm for a second. But with that crescendo being up, they have to be very careful about this initiation.
Yeah, they have to back out now. Olaf popped that ultimate. Didn't really do anything off it. I guess it was a little bit of a miscommunication. But they still are sticking around just a little bit. They are staying currently in a ward right now. So all 10 members sitting here at this top side of the lane. They do Insight, luckily for them, have decent wave clear. Just because Cho'Gath leveled up that Rupture, was able to clear out the waves pretty much instantly. Yeah. Especially with the Piltover Peacemaker, not to mention the flag coming out of Jarvan. So if anything, they have that. They should be able to defend the turret now. Especially, well, only because that ultimate's down out of Olaf.
So a different build coming out here for the Caitlyn. Not different, but she goes for the quick burst damage. She knows she's utilizing Nunu so hard in this matchup, which kind of makes that U power curve a little bit straighter, but it's still a pretty deep U towards that mid game until she can start getting 1,500 damage crits that we saw yesterday as she was just plowing through minions. Like you said, the Piltover Peacemaker, very good for stopping the sieges, and that's what we're continuously seeing here is Olaf used it, but just ults in general being used in a manner where they can't like help for the fight, so they're pushed out. The sieging is just too much.
Yeah, it seemed like a miscommunication as the crowd is so loud. I mean, nothing's happening right now. The crowd is going insane. But, I mean, we do have 2 Ormogs now done for Shen, 1 for Jarvan, so they have that innate tankiness. Cho'Gath, when he gets to 6 stacks, is just a beast. So they do have a decent front line, but still, with Olaf, with Xin, with Ryze, it's just too much. I mean, they have a tanky front line, but the thing is, Nexus has a tanky front line and damage from the front line. Yeah,
exactly. Like you were saying, where you're going to get that Cho'Gath and the Shen, those guys are just going to kind of run around. But when you have a Ryze that can burst your tankiest guy down and be tanky himself, it's very scary.
And you saw him just going head-to-head against Caitlyn. I mean, he took her down to a 3rd life. And
she didn't even try to shoot him. She's like, ah, crap. She's like, trying to get a few more siege minions in CS.
Yeah. So it's just going to cause a lot of problems, and we need to see some sort of good play out of Insight here. They can stall as long as possible and maybe, you know, try to get back into this, which they are currently doing pretty well right now. If Nexus keeps blowing those, you know, mistimed ultimates, they're going to keep letting Insight get further and further and get some sort of foothold back into this game.
So it looks like they're backing off of this one. They've completely split the team apart, but they've done it with wards. 21 minutes into the game, with Caitlyn having that Infinity Edge, they have to be a little bit weary of this Baron attempt, but I don't think Insight has the lead or the chance right now to do it. There's too much vision. The Oracles hasn't been bought yet, and that's really, you'll now see them, since they only last 5 minutes, really be the objective initiation when they get that out.
I think if we saw Nunu pick up Consume, there could be a potential Baron out of Insight, just because you have that 1,500 true damage coming out of Cho'Gath and Nunu combined, then the Smite on top of that, but he unfortunately hasn't leveled it.
Right.
And it's a really ballsy play to make because Nexus is so far behind. If you get caught in that Baron pit, you're not going to survive it, and you're just going to give away potentially a Baron. You're going to give away potentially your inhibitor turret in the mid lane and the inhibitor on top of that. But Dragon Beanstar now for Overpower is going to try to get this. Will be the 2nd Dragon, I believe, of the game for them, and extend their gold lead even more.
You know, as you say, with that Consume, maybe they are waiting for it, as we said, for the Oracles, but that just adds so much more damage to Baron. They have the most damage you can do with Smite, Feast, Consume.
Nunu just popped his ultimate in base.
Okay. We wanted to get some CS, man.
It wasn't even that. He just hit it and moved. All right, well, it must have been a little bit of a mishit, I'm going to say.
We will see. The Oracles has been purchased by Grom here. But like I said, oh no, they're actually up 10,000 gold right now, so that Baron attempt could look nice for them after a fight where they don't have to worry about it. This is the point, you know, Freak has been making all weekend, where if you're up, there's no need to chance something that can put you behind. So safe play from a Nexus right now. Insight really having the early part of this game, but it has just completely flopped around now. A Nexus has found their way into the fight. The tankiness is coming to fruition for their team, and these initiations from Zaxxas and Overpower have just been very good.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the Oracle onto Grom on Sona, which it's a smart play, but if we saw Nunu pick up one as well, because this is the point where they have to get some sort of play in the jungle to work with that Cataclysm to really shut off an entire area, to really zone the entire team. If they had some sort of Oracle, they can clear all those wards and create that opportunity, but as you see on Nexus right now, they're the ones doing it. They're the ones killing all the wards. They know they have Baron available to them to take if they want to. And the thing is, they can easily bait it in, or they can actually take it, because they do have enough tank and enough damage.
They're putting those wards to completely cut off any angles of Fog of War. You can put them in certain spots there to make sure you see a lot more than usual. Here we are. They are going to be able to take this out. Shen is bottom. Caitlyn is in no range to do this, and this is exactly the factor I pointed out, is if they are going to have either no trouble or a little trouble. Will they chance it? No, they go for the initiation. Seeing Shen still bottom, he can ult in, and he does choose to. Can they burst him down before he gets in here? No, but he's forced onto the other side with Jarvan. The Cataclysm locking down Sona. Her crescendo has been used, but it does not look like Insight has any ground in this matchup without Caitlyn's damage.
And you saw right there, it's just so well played. I mean, that was a perfect engagement because they knew Caitlyn wasn't going to be there in time to really help out. So they forced that fight. They got 3 kills off of it. And the thing with Soul Silver, he leveled up his Rupture first. You saw him hit Misfortune. It did nothing to her, and that just shows how little damage they currently have right now. This Baron should easily be picked up by Nexus. Nothing really Insight can do unless we saw a cheeky Baron still out of Soul Silver flashing over that wall. However, it is currently down.
Yep.
And that gold lead is just getting ever so bigger.
So it looks like they're going to straight up push this mid lane, knowing they have a bit of a window now. Looks like Arkle is going to try to do as much as he can. No, he knows the team is going back. They say, we need to refresh, we need to buy. That window's open. Shen ultimate is down. Let's fight again. Yeah,
and the gold they have, 1,000 on 3 members on the, well, support even had 1,000 gold on top of that. We have another Giants belt currently done for Olaf. He's going for a Frozen Mallet, it looks like here, as he already has that phase done. How do you ever escape an Olaf with Undertow and with a Frozen Mallet? You just don't.
You don't. It's a Viking anyways. Even if you didn't have that stuff, you're done.
Why is he not using the Brolaf skin? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Maybe he's not a bro.
Probably. That does sound right.
18-4, 25 minutes into this one, Jason. 41,000 to 30,000 gold. Actually, 42,000. We'll just give that the roundup. 4-3 in objectives, and I think it's been a Nexus on the Dragons, correct? I think Insight grabbed the first. Were they able to grab the second?
I believe they have grabbed all of them. Yes,
right,
they've at least gotten 2 so far. And I mean, why not? Because there's nothing Insight can do about it. They're just trying to choke them as much as possible through their gold income by denying. They're taking all those jungle creepers you're seeing right now. They know blue buff's up. Gonna head over to it in a split second here. But Shen is looking mighty tasty for him. They might try to go for him. However, he is back at that turret.
Yeah, they're actually going to go ahead and pressure the blue buff. Olaf is going to be the one to go in lane and pressure the lane. So it looks like after the blue buff, they'll have a little fun with this top turret, and this may be the engagement they want with the Baron on them. Ryze is down bottom, also pushing, so if they can just stalemate this, they're happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, he has that teleport available if they do try to engage on top of Nexus in the top side. The thing is, I mean, you look at them right there. They're not even scared about it as they force them to back off, which you have to do. I mean, if the other team has a Baron, you kind of can't afford to defend those outer turrets. You have to keep those inhibitors alive. Shen at the bottom lane trying to keep Silver there, trying to you know, force him off of something. But you know, Ryze is still doing pretty good damage to him, even though Shen is so tanky. He's sitting at 3,300 life.
This guy is just battling it out down in the bottom lane. Back to the action up this top inhibitor turret. It will be the first inhibitor turret to take pressure, and they just say, we have the regen with Baron, we have what we need to go in. We'll draw out some of these abilities until the fight is in our favor, and you can see the poke, the regen from that Baron buff just helping, as well as the stain from Sona is going to keep them in the face and knocking on the front door at this top inhibitor turret.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at bot lane, just trying to pay attention to Selvar, see if he is going to teleport in. He has been pressuring Shen quite a bit. He's been attacking as much as possible. Then he hides back in his bush, so Shen doesn't really know if he's going to be teleporting away. And he'll keep him so far away from Shen that they can't tell.
Oh, there's the dive onto Saga's, forced the Caliber net out. That doing nothing to pretty much anybody. The Misfortune ultimate missing, but they are able to take out Jarvan with single target focus there. It's all onto Soul Silver right now. He's going to dive into the turrets, and you can just see the aggression they're putting on. They are putting fear in the eyes of Insight right now. He knew he wasn't going to be able to kill Cho'Gath, but he just wants him out of the fight. He was, you see him stop hitting it? That was fantastic.
That was A little bit of BM. But anyways, they are taking the Nexus turret right now. They did get the first one. And with Jarvan and Nunu currently down, they should be able to get the second one and clean up this game.
This is a very strong push. It's kind of similar to what we saw the last push of our last game. It's in the fact that they know they're just strong enough to come out on the fight with numbers.
God,
and that was an obliteration of Caitlyn as she got back out from the fountain. Ladies and gentlemen, 28 minutes in, and it is going to be a Nexus taking out Insight.
A Nexus taking out the Nexus.
The Nexus